How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to an episode here on Let's Build Twitter. As always, I'm Ethan, an unknown coder, your favorite underqualified senior software engineer. As always, if you guys do want access to the private repository, there'll be a link in the description down below that'll walk you through exactly how to gain access to that. Now, that being said, let's go and hop into what we're working on today. Today, we're going to go ahead and work on wrapping up this modal to go ahead and display the members and the followers of specific list. So without further ado, let's go and hop into the code, get to work, and get this guy wrapped up. So back in the front end here, let's go ahead and open up our source. We'll go into our features, and we want to go ahead and come into our list. We'll go ahead and open up our components, and inside of our components, we want to go ahead and create the modal top first. So let's go ahead and say A. Here we're going to go ahead and say list members, and this is going to be called or, and then followers, and then modal top, top slash, and then we have to do the same thing again, list members or followers, and modal top.tsx. Let's go ahead and make a list and members and then or followers. Let's make sure we spell this right. And then modal top.css. So the top should be pretty simple. Let's go and hop into here, hide our Explorer. Also go and import, and then it's going to be React from React. Then let's go ahead and also import, import our dot slash, and then this one is list members or followers. And then we call this modal top, maybe top.css. Looks good. Let's go ahead and just say export const. If I could spell, that'd be cool. Export const, and then list members, and then or followers, modal top. And this will be a react.fc. If I could type. And then inside our react.fc here, we're going to go ahead and pass a top and caption, which is a string. Let's go ahead and make our arrow function here. So equal to an arrow function. And then inside of our function parameter here, let's go ahead and break apart our props. So here we're going to have top caption to make it a little bit easier to use. Let's come in here. Let's go ahead and say return to make the linter happy. And here we're going to have a div, div with a class name equal to list dash members dash or dash followers dash modal dash top. Okay, that should be good. Let's come back up here and bring in some state. The const dispatch. This is going to be an app, app dispatch is equal to a use dispatch. Go ahead and import that. Then we're going to have a const and close modal function. So go ahead and do our arrow function. Inside the arrow function, let's go and say e react.mouse event. And this is going to go ahead and be on HTML. HTML div element. Go ahead and import that. Here, let's go and say e.stop propagation. And then we're going to say dispatch. Dispatch. We're going to go ahead and first dispatch update list state. Import that. Inside our update list state, we're going to go ahead and set the property. And the property will be set to list users to display. And we're going to go ahead and reset this. So we're going to say value is equal to an empty array. Then we're also going to go ahead and do another dispatch. So dispatch once again. Here we're going to go ahead and dispatch top caption. Caption maybe is equal to, and we're going to go ahead and say list members and question mark. Okay, so if it's this, we're going to go ahead and say update and display list members. So if we're on the list members, we'll go ahead and close out of it. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and say update, display, and this one's going to be list followers. So if we're in the followers modal, we'll go ahead and close that. So that'll go ahead and close the modal. That's simple enough. Let's go and work on our return here. So inside the div, we're going to go ahead and have another div with a class name equal to list dash members dash or dash followers dash and then modal dash close. Here we're going to have our on click equal to, and we'll go ahead and close modal whenever we click on it. And here let's go ahead and have a close icon for material UI. SX is equal to an object. And here we're going to set our height equal to 20px. Let's go ahead and set our width equal to 20px as well. Go ahead and make sure this imports properly. Now that's happy, let's go ahead and come below our div. We're going to go ahead and have an h2 with a class name equal to, and this is going to be list dash members dash or dash followers dash and then modal caption. Here we're going to go ahead and say top caption. So that's a simple one there. Let's go ahead and hop into the CSS and style this up. Inside the CSS, let's start with .list dash members, members dash or dash followers dash modal dash top. Let's make sure we spell modal right. So first off, we're going to have a width of 100% of our modal. Then we're going to have a height, height of 53px, and then a padding on the left will go ahead and be equal to 8px. We're going to go ahead and have a display of flex, maybe, and we'll go ahead and justify content in the flex dash start. And then we'll also go ahead and align our items in the center. And finally, we're going to have a gap of 32px. Next, we're going to have our .list dash members dash or dash followers modal dash close. So dash close. Here, let's go ahead and have a width of 35px. I'm actually going to bump this up to 36. It'll look a little bit nicer. Height is 36px. Then we're going to go and have a display of flex. We're going to go and justify content in the center. Align items in the center. We're going to have a border of none, and then a border dash radius of 100%. So I had this originally at 35, and let's make sure this is 36, but it seems like things don't quite center properly whenever you do an odd number, so we're going to go ahead and put it as an even number. Next, we have a list, members, and then or followers dash modal dash close, colon hover. On our hover, we're going to just go have a cursor, a pointer, and then we're going to go ahead and have a background dash color, color of RGBA 0,0,0, and then we're going to say 0.1. Next, we're going to go and have our .list members, and then or followers modal, and then we're going to have our caption. Here inside of our caption, we're just going to set a margin to 0. We're going to set a padding to 0, and then we're going to go ahead and have a font dash size of 20px, 20px, and then a font dash weight of 600. So there we go. That is going to be all of our CSS. Everything should be imported. So let's go ahead and hop back into the modal itself and install this new component. Back inside our modal component, let's go ahead and delete this modal top bar placeholder fragment here. And let's go ahead and bring in the list members or followers modal top, import that. Our top caption will go ahead and be passed in as caption. Go and close that out. Go and save this. And I think I spelled caption wrong. Actually, no, it's top caption. So let's go ahead and rename that to top caption. Save that up. Let's go and hop into the front end and just make sure this looks okay and good to go. So you can see we have our list members. We can close out of it. We hover over, we go followers. We have our list followers, close out of it. Looks good. Now we need to go ahead and make a couple of changes inside of a component called profile follow button, because we're going to be able to have a couple of different colored buttons. Whenever we see the follow here, it's going to be white or black instead of blue. So we need to go ahead and change that. So let's hop back in the code and get that fixed. Back in the code, let's go and hop into our profile follow button component. Inside of profile follow button, we're going to go ahead and just declare a props interface, because we're starting to get a few more props than I'm comfortable with just listing out. We're going to go ahead and say interface. And this is going to be profile follow button props. Inside the props, we'll have a username of string. We'll have a following of Boolean. And then finally, we'll go ahead and have a follow button, color, which is going to be a string. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. So instead of having this object, let's go ahead and put in that profile follow button props. So profile follow button props, and then let's also go ahead and include the follow button color. That looks good. And then now let's go ahead and come down to our actual button. So if we are already following, we're going to go ahead and have a, actually I think it's fine if we're unfollowing, it's going to be the follow button itself. So here we're going to go ahead and wrap this in curly braces. We're going to go ahead and wrap this in backticks, and then what we're going to go ahead and do is going to have a dash here, and then this is going to be $ curly brace and follow. And let's make sure we put this inside of quotes here. This is going to be, actually, no, I'm stupid. So this is follow and button color. So that'll go ahead and append that. Go and save that. Now let's go and hop into the CSS and update the CSS to allow for this. Inside the CSS for our unfollow button or follow button, I believe. So let's see here. Yeah, follow button. We're going to go ahead and say dash blue on this. Same thing here. We're going to come down to this follow button, and we're going to go ahead and add dash blue. It's going to be kind of like a default color. Next, we're going to go ahead and have a profile dash follow dash button and this one's going to be black. Go ahead and open this up. So here, width will be 80 px. We're going to have a height, height of 36 px, a border of none. We're going to have a border dash radius, maybe, of, and this one's going to be 18 px. Then we'll have a background dash color of black. We're going to go and have a font dash size of 15 px, font dash weight of 600, and then a cursor or a color, of white, and then a cursor pointer. We could have shared a lot of these values, but it is what it is. We'll have a dot profile dash and then follow dash button dash black and hover. Inside the hover, we're gonna have a background, maybe a background dash color RGBA. We already started out pretty dark, so we're going to see 0, 0, 0, and then 0.9, so it's just a little bit lighter. So now we have our different styles. Now obviously this is going to break in a couple of different places, so let's first hop into the profile follow card to make some changes. Here inside our profile follow card, once again, let's go ahead and set up a props to deal with these extra pieces of state. We're going to say interface, and this is going to be profile follow card props, and then in here we're going to go ahead and pass in user, which is a user. We're going to go ahead and have a display more, which is a boolean, and then finally we're going to have our follow button and color. We're going to set this optional and string. Then here, let's go ahead and make use of our profile follow card props. So let's go ahead and get rid of this object. Go ahead and have our profile follow card props, and then after our display more, we're going to go ahead and say follow button color is going to be equal to blue by default. And then here, let's go ahead and scroll down. We need to make a small update to where our profile follow button is. Let's find our profile follow button. So here, let's go ahead and pass in that color. So after our following, we'll go ahead and say follow button color is equal to, and then our follow button color from props. Again, the default will be blue, and that'll be fine. So that should basically be everything we need to update to fix this broken part. And now we're ready to go ahead and create our list members or followers content section. Let's go ahead and open up our Explorer here. Let's come back into our list components. Let's go ahead and make a list members or followers, and this one's going to be modal content / list members or followers modal content.tsx. Let's also go ahead and make a list members modal, unless that's actually list members or, there we go, followers modal content.css. Hopefully I spelled everything right. Let's go ahead and import and React from React. We'll also go ahead and import our / and list members or followers modal content.css. Let's also go ahead and hide our Explorer so we have a little bit more space here. Let's go ahead and say export const, and then this is once again going to be list members or followers modal content bucket type, and this is going to be a react.fc. Inside here, we're going to pass an object, and this is going to go and have is members, which is a boolean, and it's also going to go and have is creator, which is a boolean. Let's go ahead and close this out. Inside of our parameters, we'll go ahead and pass in is members and is creator. Then let's go ahead and open this up. So let's also make sure we export properly. There we go. Looks good. Inside here, let's go and return. And inside the return, we'll have a div with a class name equal to list members or followers, and then this one's going to be modal content. Let's go ahead and set up our state and actions. So in here, we're going to go ahead and grab our token. So const, and then this will be token is equal to use selector. And then inside the use selector, we'll have our state root state. And here we're going to bring in state.user. Next, we'll also go ahead and have a const, and we want to go ahead and have our list users to display. We'll also go ahead and have our selected list is equal to use selector. We'll have our state and root state, and then we'll go ahead and pass in state.list. Next, we're also going to need a const dispatch, which is an app, maybe app dispatch equal to use dispatch. Go ahead and import those, and that looks good. Now we need to go ahead and set up our logic. So we're going to say const remove user from list is equal to an arrow function. This is going to take in an e react.mouse event on an HTML, and this should be a button element. So if we want to go ahead and remove a member, we can do that. Here we're going to go and say e.stop propagation, as we should, and we're going to say if we have our selected list and we have our token, then we can go ahead and do that. So first we're going to say const id is equal to, and this is going to be plus e.current target, and then .id. Then we're going to say our current list, and this is going to be of type custom feed. So let's go ahead and import that from our types equal to json.parse, and then json.stringify. We're going to go ahead and make a deep copy of it, and we'll go ahead and pass in that selected list like so. From here, we're going to go ahead and say const filtered list is equal to our current list, and I don't think that filtered list would be the correct term for this, but it is what it is. .members.filter, and then here we're going to say user arrow function user.user id is not equal to the id, and then that's good to go there. After we have this, we're going to go ahead and say current list is equal to ... our current list. I could type current list, there we go, and then our members would be our filtered list. That should probably be filtered members or something, but it's fine. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and dispatch, and let's go ahead and dispatch list. Whoops, we're going to go ahead and dispatch, I'm sorry, update custom list. Update custom list. Maybe I don't have this yet. I might need to create this, I guess. And then list current list, and then here token. So I think maybe this doesn't exist yet. So what we might do is, I don't think I have this plan to be worked on quite yet. I'm going to go ahead and comment this out, and we'll circle back to this, and we're going to say to do after we implement this, let's uncomment. So I don't know when we're going to work on that. This might just been like a miss. I thought it was done, but it actually wasn't. We'll circle back eventually and get that done, so don't worry about it. But this should still at least do a little bit of work. And it doesn't really matter if we completely remove them from now. We just kind of want to make sure everything looks good. So now that we have that all done, let's go ahead and work on the rest of the component here. So we're going to go ahead and have curly braces list users to, and list, I guess I mistyped list user to display, but whatever. Dot length is greater than 0, and we have a list users to display, and then we're going to go ahead and say dot map, and then here we're going to map each user. Let's go ahead and set up our arrow function. Inside the map, we're going to check to see if is creator, so is creator, and we're going to say and is in the members. So if we are the creator and we are inside the members area, we can go ahead and return. It's going to be create list user card, and here the user will equal to user, and then our is member will equal to true. So is member equal to true, and then finally our handle button click will equal to, and this will be remove user from list. Go ahead and do that. So basically, if we are the creator of the list and we're looking at all the members, we can go ahead and remove some of them. So then otherwise, what we want to go ahead and do is come outside this if statement. And we'll go ahead and instead return a profile, maybe, and follow button, or actually follow card, and then user, we'll need to go ahead and import that properly. User and display more will equal to false. And then finally our follow button, button color will equal to black. Make sure we do this right. Let's go and import this profile follow card, and I'll go ahead and kind of explain once again. So if we are the creator and we're looking at the members, we'll go ahead and display that. Otherwise, if we are not the creator, we'll go ahead and display this. And then let's go ahead and also do one more check here. We're going to go ahead and check the list user to display, and then we're going to say dot length is equal, maybe equal to 0. So if we have 0, we're going to go ahead and display a div with a class name equal to, and this is going to be list dash members dash or followers dash empty dash list. So if it's an empty list, we're going to have some text to display. Inside here, let's have an h1 class name equal to list dash members dash or dash followers dash empty dash list and header. Inside here, this is going to go and say this list is lonely. Oops, that's not lonely. There we go. And then we're going to have a p with a class name equal to, and here we're going to say list members and or dash followers dash empty dash list. And then this is going to be our text. So here we're going to go ahead and have a check for is members. So if we are a members, or if we're in the members modal, we're going to go and have and say people added to this, and then list will show up here. And then otherwise we'll go ahead and say people and then who follow this list, make sure list is uppercase, will show up here. There we go. And that's going to be the rest of the structure for our component. Now we need to go ahead and style it up, make sure it looks good, and then put it into our modal component. So let's go ahead and hop into our list members or followers modal content.css. Inside the CSS, let's go ahead and declare list members, and this is or dash followers dash modal dash content. Inside the content, width will be 100%. We'll go ahead and have a height of fit dash content, and then a min dash height will be set to 560px. After this, we'll display a flex, and then we'll go ahead and justify content in the center and align items in the center. And actually want, instead of center, we want this to be flex dash start. So there is that. We also want to go ahead and put in a flex direction here. So flex dash direction is going to go ahead and be column. After this, we'll go ahead and have our dot list dash members dash or dash followers dash, and then modal, maybe if I could type, dash empty dash list. In here, we're going to have a width of fit dash content. We're going to have a height, maybe, of fit dash content, and then we'll go ahead and have a display of flex, can't type, and a flex direction in column. Once again, here we're going to justify content in the center, we're going to align items in the center, and then we're going to have a gap of 8px, and we're going to go and have a padding on the top of 32px. Whoops, let's make sure we don't break this. Looks good. Next we have our list dot members dash or dash followers modal, once again empty list header. Inside the header, we're going to set margin to 0, padding to 0, and then font dash size of 31px, and a font dash weight of 800. And then finally our dot list dash members dash or followers modal dash content, actually not content, modal, and then dash empty list text. Here, let's go ahead and have a margin of 0, we'll have a padding and of 0, font dash size will go ahead and be 15px, then a font dash weight will be 400, and finally we have a color of £657786. So I think that should be everything. I believe I got everything lined up the way we want. Justify content, flex start and center, and then modal list empty should be justify content center, align items. There should be flex start here. Let's make sure we do this properly, otherwise it won't look right. Everything looks good here. Let's go and hop into the list members or followers modal once again to install this component. Inside the modal, let's go ahead and delete this modal content fragment here. Instead, let's go ahead and have our list members or modals modal content. Here we're going to go ahead and say that the is members is equal to is members, and then finally is creator is equal to is creator. Go ahead and close out of this and save it up. And I might have messed something up here. Let's see. I think I did. Let's go ahead and wrap it there. There we go. So now we can go and just take a look at this. Looks like we might need to hop into Postman and create another one to follow here, but let's just see. So I broke something. Let's refresh. So I did miss a profile follow button somewhere. So this is going to be in the profile follow section. Let's fix that. So there should be a profile follow button broken in here, I guess. Let's see. Okay, and this is just going to be color equal to blue. We're going to go ahead and say color, and this is follow button color is going to be equal to blue. And save that up. We just kind of missed that one, I guess. Let's take a look again. Give this a refresh. So right now we are the creator. So we go ahead and look at members, and interesting. This list is lonely. It shouldn't be lonely. Let's take a look at Redux really quick. So let's see here. Update list state list. We should have a selected list. We do. And members is not empty. Our list uses display is also not empty. So let's go ahead and see what's going on with this. Let's see here. List uses to display.length should not be equal to 0. I wonder if I typoed something or something else. So state.list length is greater than 0. And we have that. Let's just double check this once again. So list users to display. I did typo list users to display. I don't know why it's not showing up properly. List users to display. And list users to display. And then finally list users to display. So here, I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and go back into our component, I guess, or our slice. So here we have our list users to display. And then let's just double check this list users to display. I don't know if I typoed something else then or what's going on with it. But let's save everything and let's try again. Go and give it a refresh here. Try again. There we go. So now you can see that these say remove because they're on the list. So if we go ahead and hop into Postman and log in with Summer, if we aren't already, let's see here. So let me close out of this stuff and let's see here if we go into our post and it looks like we should be good. Let's just go ahead and say test list 2 has a couple of users in it and it's created by Summer. Save that. So now if we go ahead and come in here and refresh and we go ahead and follow this one and we come over here and apparently this issue is back. I thought I fixed this issue or maybe we haven't fixed it yet. I don't know, but for some reason it says 14 members and it's duplicating them. We might have to go back, but we're following them. We can unfollow. That looks fine. And then if we are in followers, obviously we can't unfollow ourselves, but that's kind of what that looks like. I'm going to look into what's going on with this list members going on. That might have just been a weird thing. I don't know, but I thought I'd fix that. But that is looking good. That is all we're doing for this episode. I might not have actually fixed that yet. I don't remember. It's been a long day, a long time recording these. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Everything helps out here or the YouTube algorithm. If you do want to see what we start from absolute scratch to get into point right now, it's going to go ahead and be a playlist and the end card coming right up. So that being said, y'all, hope you have a great day. This has been Ethan Uncoder, and I'll see you all in the next video.